nonsense. Yeah, man, it's Thursday. Oh, man, time's just going by. So we're probably, maybe going on 2 weeks after the election. Did anything happen? Are we in World War III? Did the whole earth implode? The sun came out again today? I'm pretty sure. So welcome to the show. Let's go ahead and do a quick mic check. Mic check, 1, 2. If you can hear me, let me know. I saw some people already chatting in there, so I'm assuming that you guys can see me. But I want to know if y'all can hear me as well. So if you can hear me, let me know. So, there it is. All good, Kev. Then if it's all good with y'all, it's all good with me. Let's go ahead and get busy. Like real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Now, it's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. If this is your first time joining the show, please let me know. Hit the like button. Share my videos. Follow me on all the other social media platforms. All the links are below. Make sure that you subscribe and you turn your notification button on to all, just in case. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. I might be back in business over here on my other laptop. But yeah, make sure that you set your notifications to all so that YouTube can allegedly make sure you get a notification whenever I go live or upload a video. I'm starting to upload some short clips from some of our live streams. I uploaded one right before tonight's show, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's the one where I was talking about, you know who, y'all, tight knees, no bass. Now, with that being said, I'm not going to waste any more time because time is precious. It's precious. So let's jump right in. Oh, yeah. I got my stuff back up over here. Hold on. Let me make sure I log in so I can see what's going on my end, just in case the chat goes out on your end. So come on. You know, I'm working on like a 1985 computer over here. See, I'm surprised I ain't got to pop in the floppy disk and, you know, stuff like that. Dolly said, catching you live. Thank you very much. I'm glad you catch me live. Yeah, come on. I got to wait until it pull up. It takes like 8 minutes. But anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get busy because there's some controversy brewing and I like it. Okay? So let's go ahead and get busy on what we're going to be talking about tonight. Oh, don't forget, I got a corner store. I almost forgot myself. So check out the corner store for any merch, and it's number 330-974-4607. If you 4607, if you want to stay in touch with me, just in case they out me, text MAGA to that number, okay? Now, with that being said, let's get into what we're going to be talking about.
Trump's been president-elect for 3 days, and the country already looks different. New York City's saying no mas to free food for illegals. The caravans...
Wow, that's good. No mas for free food for illegals? Don't it just seem like things have changed already? It's going to be a brighter day. That's right. It feels like a brand new day. Can't you feel a brand new day? And Trump's not even in office yet. So there you have it. The Trump effect is kicking in. What else, Jesse? But that was a big one. That was a big one right there because up in New York, the big crapple, they decided to cut, folks loose. They're like, we ain't going to be feeding y'all no more, okay? There's a new sheriff in town. And the mini sheriff up there, Mayor you-know-who, unfortunately got roughed up. Hush up, boy. When he decided to speak out about all these illegals. So let's see what else happening, Jesse.
Mexico are breaking up. Toyota is saying they're going to invest more in gas-powered cars. Europe wants to buy energy from the United States instead of Russia. Qatar is kicking Hamas out.
Sweet.
The Dow hitting an all-time high.
Beautiful.
Jack Smith dropping his case.
Wonderful.
And Soros-funded DAs are packing their bag.
Wow. And I heard they're getting beat, too. All around the U.S. I think like 15 or 17 of them lost their races, which is good. And a lot of these were in liberal areas that these folks had to find out that even liberals don't like being mugged. Can you believe that? Even liberals don't like being robbed, threatened, hurt, killed, all of these stuff. They don't like it either. They thought they might have liked it They thought it would be good because they were fighting against injustice or something, and all of that. But they found out it's just robbery. That's all it is. It's not fighting against injustice. It's just crime. That's all it is. Has nothing to do with slavery. All right, so let's continue because...
about what the president wants to do and the vice president. We want to make sure that we deliver for the American people.
Y'all hear that? So you see Mop Top, you see her up there, Black Gay Drop. Yeah, her days are numbered. So Black Gay Drop is up there talking about how Trump and Creepy Sleepy met at the White House. It was beautiful on the surface. And Trump and Creepy shaking hands. Long-standing battle between those two, one-sided for the most part. And of course, we know there's no love lost between Kamala Harris and the Creepy camp because we saw what Jill did the other day when Kamala showed up for that ceremony and Jill was like, So they sat up there, shook hands, and now we're talking about a peaceful transition. But not all of the Democrats are down with the peaceful transition, which we're going to be talking about.
They deserve a peaceful transfer of power.
Well, just a couple of weeks ago, she was calling President Trump a threat to democracy.
Isn't that odd?
Biden calling to turn down the temperature. Democrat leaders apparently not getting the memo.
Yeah. See, it's like that Japanese guy who didn't know World War II was over. He was stranded on an island. He stayed there for like another 25 years, still fighting for some reason. Nobody was able to get the communication to him that it's over. So we still got some folks that run some liberal cities and states that maybe haven't gotten the memo that the majority of the country, including probably the majority of their state, rejected the Democrat policies. They don't want this resistance to all of this wokeness and all of that stuff. So they're still holding out. They're still holding out. They didn't get the memo. Let's see who didn't get the memo, y'all, because we got to go ahead and send them the memo. We don't want them to get blindsided, okay? So we got to get the message out to them.
Watch this.
And my office has been preparing for several months because we've been here before. We faced this challenge before, and we use the rule of law to fight back.
If you try to harm...
That's one. So Big Cankles, the woman up there walking around stepping on buildings in New York, she didn't get the memo. She thinks they're still at war. Yeah, she's like, you know what? We're prepared for Donald Trump to come in with all of his Nazi tanks and Le Fer and send in all the brown shirts for some reason and start attacking New Yorkers. Or is it that she's just afraid that we'll put some people in place that might discover that she was a conspirer with the rest of the people who tried lawfare on Trump? Could it be that? And I think it's also something else these liberal cities are trying to protect, which we're going to get into it. I want to get into it deep.
New Yorkers or roll back their rights. I will fight you every step of the way.
If there is any attack on the Garden State or on any of its communities from Washington, I will fight back with every fiber of my being.
What are these people talking about? I mean, do you hear this nonsense? Notice they're not explaining the attacks, if there's any type of attacks. And then they try to come out here and say, on my people, trying to make it seem like Trump is sitting here planning to attack what? Chicago, planning to attack New York. What are they talking about? These are the most vague responses to some mysterious threat that I've ever heard. I mean, you're not going to be specific? Why not? Because we all know who you're really talking about. You're not talking about the citizens of these cities and states. You're talking about your precious illegal immigrants that's coming for a better life. So they're trying to include everybody into that.
Anyone who intends to come take away the freedom and opportunity and dignity of Illinoisans, I would remind you that a happy warrior is still a warrior.
You know what, Abbott and Costello? You see this dude right here? So he's sitting back throwing, counter threats to a non-threat. I'm just want to remind you that even a gentle warrior is still a warrior. What does that mean? And what are you talking about? Coming to attack citizens? What? See, this is the stuff nobody's asking them.
That a happy warrior is freedom and opportunity and dignity of Illinoisans.
Of Illinoisans. So do y'all see that? Anybody that's watching my show from, say, Illinois, Chicago, this guy right here just got out here and said that Illinoisans, all of y'all, might be attacked, your freedom, your dignity. But my gut tells me he's including some non-Illinoisans in this. In fact, I think the bulk of who he's referring to are the non-Illinoisans. See, but he wants y'all to think y'all are at risk. So he's including these illegal immigrants as already regular citizens, just like Joe Biden did. These immigrants are already like Americans. They're more American than some Americans. So you see the game that's being played? They're trying to pretend that these people are already citizens, already belong here. They're protecting them as if they were you, citizens. Now, if y'all stupid enough to fall for that and allow them in your cities to protect these people by using y'all as an excuse, then it's on y'all. But once you realize that they're not even talking about us, they're using us like they use everybody else to protect their illegal immigrants. These illegal immigrants, it's just like slavery. When they separate these legal immigrants' kids, it's just like they did when the slaves were brought here, ripping those babies from their mothers. Nope, totally different application. Using all of this crap, all of the citizens to justify why they need to protect these illegal immigrants. So now they done spent how many years? 3 years, well, more than that, but under this regime, 4 years almost, packing them in. I mean, this was their main priority. Day one. If I was one, they got to surge. They got to surge the border from day one. So they didn't use up all of this time, money, resources, bringing these people in, strategizing, coordinating, flying them all around in the middle of the night, hiding them, dipping, diving, coming out, attacking folks who catch a glimpse of them like we can't see them. Hurry up, everybody, hurry up. Is there like 3,000 people running across the tarmac, getting in the airplane? You didn't see nothing, huh? You didn't see nothing. So they done did all of that, got them all stacked in these cities right here, and they don't want to lose it. They're like, we worked too hard, man. You know how much money of y'all we spent on these people? You know what? Y'all want to return on your investment, don't y'all? Taxpayers. Y'all just gonna have them send these folks back? So now we got these folks up here forming a so-called resistance, I guess. These are all Democrat governors and mayors that's forming some type of resistance. Against who? Why? I mean, what other reason would the federal government under Trump need to come into your city to where you are labeling this as an attack on your citizens? What other reason would they want to do that besides they're coming in to get criminals, illegal immigrants out of the country? So unless you could give me another reason besides that, stop talking about if he comes in here to attack our citizens. They're not citizens.
I would remind you that a happy warrior is still a warrior. You come for my people, you come through me.
What are they talking about?
Thank you.
Governor Gavin Newsom also going as far as calling for a special session of the legislature on how to, quote, safeguard the state from Trump policies, saying, quote, the freedoms we hold dear in California are under attack and we won't sit idle.
What is he talking about? I mean, you know, what's kind of crazy about these cats, these Democrats, they don't even stop to see which way the wind is blowing, the current. Okay, what's going on here? Okay. All right, what is up with that? I got another ghost in the light over here. It's bothering me. So anyway, they don't even stop for a second to check the temperature on which way the wind is blowing. They don't stop to say, you know what? We just lost an election. What was one of the major reasons why? Oh, immigration. And there's a study out there, a poll that shows that over half of Americans actually want to see these people go back home. But yet what I'm going to do is take a stand and talk about, I'm going to go ahead and Trump-proof our state to keep these illegal immigrants here. Now, you know, we could play a game. We could just say, you know what? We're going to ask the people of Illinois, what do they think? We're going to go ahead and advertise, send out all kind of emails and information to Illinoisans and say, listen, your governor and your mayors don't want us to come in and remove the illegal immigrants from your cities and states. Now, we're going to leave it up to you to stress to them whether you want this or not. Okay. So you Illinoisans, if y'all want us to come in, please let them know. I mean, if not, y'all want them, keep them. In fact, we'll go ahead and go after all the illegal immigrants all around the country. And then it will force all of the ones in red states to go and even pack more into these sanctuary states. There you go. All of them. We're coming after you. Better get to Illinois. You better get to Chicago because we're coming. Yeah, every illegal immigrant. If you want safe, if you want to play tag, like when we was kids and get on the base, talking about you can't do that to me because I'm on the base and now I'm safe. Okay, all of y'all, you see all of these governors? Head there. Yeah, this way we can round them all up at once in those cities and states. When their people throw these leaders out. That's what could happen right there. Yeah, y'all, hey, I mean, if y'all willing to take them all, let your governor know. Let Gavin Newsom know. We okay with having them. We okay with having them. These dudes are fools. So they're just going to override the overwhelming will of the people.
Sit idle for what, Caroline?
It's unbelievable. It's just, Maria, there was a sweeping mandate in this election to reject the policies of the last administration, the niche, radical issues that Democrats have made their bread and butter, and to reprioritize the kitchen table. So, again, Democrats, they're refusing any moment of self-reflection when they desperately need some soul searching. And one other thing, Maria, none of these Democrats actually believe that Trump would be Hitler. Because if they did, we'd see a mass exodus of celebrities and the elite to Canada and Europe.
There you go. See, so all of them virtue signaling, talking about they're going to take a stand to Trump-proof their states, and they're going to fight against this tyrannical guy who was coming in there to do what? Law and order, to remove all of the illegal immigrants that you guys packed into your cities, that your people are letting you know it's a problem. It's a problem. Now, maybe not so much out in California. Maybe they're spread out or they're just used to it. But one thing they are rejecting is the crime. Yeah, they're like, yo, we don't want no crime. And more illegal immigrants probably would bring more crime as well. So California better go ahead and say, we want them gone too. We want them gone too. So that is the approach that a lot of these mayors and governors have. Now, you know what's going to happen. It's going to come down to a standoff. That's what's going to happen. It's going to come down to a showdown. Yeah, when Trump have to send the hammer. We talked about the hammer last night. All right, they don't want to cooperate. Send in the hammer. When he starts sending the hammer down there, stuff's going to get smashed. So now, there is one out there that's taking a stance against Trump and his white nationalism and all of that stuff, and refuses to surrender all of the illegals that he's harboring in his city. And I'm referring to none other than Mayor Conehead up there in Chicago. Now, there's now starting to become a drastic difference between two of the biggest cities ran by two of the Democrats' precious black folks. A drastic difference is starting to happen between Mayor Conehead and Mayor Coconut. See, formerly known as Mayor Peanut, but then he graduated up to Walnut, and then, you know, he made it to Coconut. So there's a drastic difference. So let's start off with Chi-Town and see what Mayor Conehead's strategy is to resist the hammer coming in and clearing out all these illegal immigrants. Mayor Conehead versus Coconut.
Under a Johnson administration, I'm not raising property taxes.
Well, so I'm not going to raise property taxes. That's been the lazy form of governance for a very long time in the city of Chicago and, quite frankly, around the country.
We have to make sure that we're not raising revenue off the backs of working people.
What you are raising is that cone on top of your head. That is a problem for a grown man. Okay, let go of the cone. Nobody wants to see a grown man with a mohawk. A frohawk, I guess that's what he's calling it. Isn't it out of style yet? It's been being rocked now for the last 10 years. It's time to let that mess go. Jeez, oh man. But anyway, notice when this is all taking place, it's before he got elected, like Democrats always do. You elect us, we're not going to shut down fracking. No way. That's crazy. First day. Shut down the Keystone Pipeline. But here he is telling everybody he ain't going to raise no property taxes. Now vote for me.
And that's why I'm the only candidate who's committed to not raising property taxes.
Communities have been hit hard because the property taxes continue to go up. And that's why I'm committed to making sure that we're not raising property taxes to keep families in the city of Chicago.
So in order to actually fix our economy, we have to eliminate the structural deficit. We get to make up to $1 billion of new investments so that we can save lives, the programs that are needed to do that. And we do it without raising property taxes.
Sounds good in theory, until it gets all blown to smithereens by thousands and thousands of illegal immigrants that now you have to fund, Mayor Conehead.
2 years later. Hey, Mr. Mayor, what would you say to those who voted for you and now you are going to be raising those property taxes when I know initially you said that you would not during your campaign?
Well, I lied. Oh, no, he ain't going to say that. My fault. Well, he's going to come up with something. I'm sure he's going to slide in some racism somewhere, too.
You know, look, as I've always said, I hold true to my values and, negotiating the details.
The values of lying? Like I always said, I hold true to my values except for telling the truth. That's not one of my values because I straight up told y'all that I wasn't going to raise property taxes, and I sure enough did. So therefore, I destroyed one of the values, which is truth. So let's continue, though.
Details of my values is something I've always been open to, but first and foremost, I want people to be very clear that what this budget does, what I've done since I've been in office, it invests in young people. It invests in mental health and behavioral health. It invests in community safety.
You're leaving out one group of people. It invests in illegal immigrants. It invests in the future voters of the country. It invests in all of you. You're leaving that out? You're trying to make it seem like y'all are in a deficit because of all of these things. How did y'all get in a deficit? That's my question. Why are y'all needing more money? And are you really collecting the money for the stuff you're talking about? Or you're leaving out some details of where this money is really going to be allocated towards?
It invests in building more affordable homes. These investments are clear.
For who? More affordable homes. For illegal immigrants.
We're not going backwards to a time in which neighborhoods that have been, disinvested in and ignored over decades, we're not going back to that time.
Neighborhoods that have been disinvested in and ignored for decades that you are shoveling tons of illegal immigrants into. Why do you think all of those black folks are showing up at those town hall meetings letting you have it? Yeah, that old dude talking about, and I'm gonna use my right to vote red. Vote red. Why do you think they're doing that, Mayor Cone? But let's continue, because he's talking about investments and stuff.
And look, as painful as this process has been, I know that the people of Chicago don't want us to lose the vital services that we rely upon. And
now, do you hear this crook? Vital services that we rely upon that is being drained by a Democrat project, a Democrat scheme. So he's not an American first. He ain't even a Chicago first mayor. I mean, this dude right here is a selfish, he's a Democrat first mayor. That's what he is. Straight up talking about, we might not even have the resources, and why not? See, these are the questions nobody asking. What happened to the money? Where's all that money? How much money did we spend on illegal immigrants?
With the options that were in front of me, and this is, the reality of the options that are in front of me. We can cut and lay off our neighbors. We can find, revenue streams.
Or you could cease to be a sanctuary city and send all of these illegal immigrants out, send them back. You could do that. You could start saying, we're no longer going to be housing you and building little things and stuff for you guys and all that stuff. You could do that. That's one option. But according to Mayor Conehead, that's not an option. Because, see, he took what I guess would be the easy route. And when I say easy, it's because he ain't got to worry about what Mayor Peanut had to worry about. Hush up, boy. FBI showing up talking about, let me get that BlackBerry. So he'd rather look like a complete fool, jackass, and a sellout to his own people and go ahead and watch them be punished by all of these illegal immigrants being shoved into their neighborhoods. Watch them go without. Watch their kids not have stuff, their little sports stuff shut down. He'd rather see all of that happen than to let down the Democrat Party ran by white liberals. But yet this guy will use all kind of racism to justify protecting these illegal immigrants because he don't want to have to disappoint those white liberals. But he's so pro-black, so in touch with all of the racism and systemic racism and injustice and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Conehead knows if he would have took the Mayor Coconut route, he too would have got the phone call. Hello? Hush up, boy. And you already know what that means. He would have got the hush up boy call.
But we have to make sure that we're paying our obligations as well. And, this is the beginning of an open process that I'm looking forward to engaging with all of our city council members and the community at large.
President Judy, Mayor Brandon Johnson making it clear today whether it's protecting undocumented families in Chicago or his budget priorities, he will not compromise on his values. Also today,
won't compromise on his values, y'all. Let's see what he won't compromise on.
With the potential loss of federal dollars for law enforcement if the city won't cooperate with the Trump administration's plans to deport undocumented immigrants, the mayor making it clear Chicago will not be bullied.
Did you see all of those flags from other countries? You see that, Chicago? Y'all are no longer Chicago. Y'all been conquered. I guess. I don't even know where these flags are from. All over the place. That's what's going on up there in Chicago. Under Mayor Conehead. So now he ain't gonna compromise on his values. Here it is, y'all. This right here is the squabble brewing. We're on the ground level of seeing, this Donnybrook take place. Cats walking around, chest out, flexing, looking at each other. What's up? Yeah, what is up? Yeah, you know what's up. What? Tell me what's up there. So we sitting there looking like, oh shoot, are we about to see Mayor Conehead talking crazy.
He made clear Chicago will not be bullied into helping ICE agents.
Returning to the election results, we heard from President.
Now, first of all, just think how asinine this is, how crazy this is. You're talking about government officials, leaders of major cities and states. They're harboring criminals, and yet they're sitting back saying, we refuse to give up these criminals. Now, can they do the same thing with any criminal? What about American criminals? What if a whole bunch of, say, Chicagoans, just decide we're going to run to the state right next to us, break in, steal a whole bunch of stuff, shoot up a whole bunch of people, burn down some stuff, and run back over to Chicago? Could Chicago just decide, oh, well, you know what? They're safe. You can't come over here and get them. We're not expediting them. Chicagoans are free to commit crimes outside of Chicago. Once they're here, they're safe. I mean, nobody would tolerate this. But for now, all of a sudden, these folks are talking about, we ain't giving them up. There it is, as if these were their people, their citizens. As if these folks did not violate our national immigration laws. And yet here he is talking about, we ain't gonna let ICE do this. We ain't gonna cooperate with ICE. One side of me still wants to say, let them have what they're asking for. Let it get so bad that they grab him by that cone on top of his head and drag him out of that seat, right out of the mayor's mansion. Since you want to fight for these illegal immigrants. But the other side of me is also looking at all of those Chicagoans for the last 2 to 3 years I've been watching come out and fight against this stuff, speak out against this, and they're really relying on President Trump coming in and making the difference. We don't want to lose that respect, that support, from folks in Chicago. We want them to see that they got somebody out here that's willing to go in and fight for them. But that side of me that want to see them just, because I want to get a census of how many Chicagoans are okay with Brandon Johnson talking about, we going to fight to protect these folks in here. They ain't coming in. We ain't cooperating. I want to know how many Chicagoans are really like, yeah, that's right. I'm down with that. Or are they just not paying attention? Maybe they didn't hear what he's saying. I wonder. It can't be that many. But here he's talking about it like all of Chicago was like, nah, they ain't coming in here.
Like Trump's borders are saying that he was prepared to send squads of ICE agents into so-called sanctuary cities, including New York. He did not mention Chicago, but of course that would apply to Chicago. Are you prepared to somehow resist the... Now,
this is where Mayor Conehead's about to get his butt in trouble. See, because she's asking the question. Notice he wasn't even mentioned. He wasn't even mentioned. His city wasn't mentioned. She even said it. Chicago wasn't mentioned, but I'm sure that would apply to you. Now, Mayor Conehead could go ahead and do like Mayor Coconut and dodge the question, start aligning himself up, check which way the wind is blowing and say, I think I'm going that direction. But watch him pick a fight right here. He's setting himself up for the okie doke.
Arrival of ICE agents, and are you prepared to defend the city's public safety budget from attempts by the incoming Trump administration to withdraw funds if you resist working with ICE agents?
Yeah, you see that? That's that fake smile. Like, you crazy. You about to get me killed. You know that, right? But I got to smile and act like, man, this ain't nothing. I ain't worried about it. Yeah, that's like those boxers who get punched in the face and they know it hurts. So they be like, yeah, doing all this. And you going, it hurt, didn't it? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, you shook up. That bothered you, didn't it? So now he got to go ahead and put on a facade. Like, I ain't worried about that. Woo! You know what I'm saying? Well, who's the hammer? Shoot.
That's impressive, Heather. Yes, and yes.
You better start packing now. You're damn right. Because you're going home.
Hammer time. Home in the hammer.
I want to be the best in the game. Invest in my name. Check no restraints. I'm obsessed with
another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
And you want a piece of the hammer? Mayor Conehead talking about something. Yes. All right. He ain't here, is he? No, he ain't here. Okay. But yeah, man, shoot. I wish the home and the hammer would come up in this month. If you see, hey, listen, man, if you seen walking around here, let me know, okay? But anyway, yeah, man, tell him when you seen. So now let's see what he got to say about this, y'all. Why he's not gonna let them come in and cooperate with ICE, y'all.
Look, we're going to defend the people of this city.
You see? Conflating the two different groups of people. Notice what they're doing. See, that's their resistance claim. We're defending the people of our city, our states. These are not your people. This is how you dummies lost this election. Y'all think that Americans aren't sitting back saying, wait, you're talking about defending who? The people of the city. We watch y'all trash us, trample on us, disregard our feelings, our desires, our concerns, called us all kind of names when we vocalized it, had white liberals up there telling black people in Chicago, stop being racist against these illegal immigrants. I'm sorry, undocumented citizens. And yet here he is. I'm going to defend my people. Who are you defending, man? Do you think the hammer's coming for American citizens in Chicago?
Because look, his attack, let's be very clear, the president-elect, former President Trump, his threat is not just towards new arrivals.
Here it comes.
And undocumented families. His threats are also...
What is a new arrival and an undocumented family? You see the play on words? This is the stuff. This is the stuff. New arrivals, undocumented, Americans, I guess, and citizens. Y'all ready for this leap? Now watch him try to drag this new narrative into the argument. So it's not only affecting new arrivals and undocumented citizens, it's also affecting who?
New arrivals and undocumented families. His threats are also against black families. He has a vision.
Holy moly. He's going to get the hammer. He deserves it. He deserves every bit of that hammer. Yeah, I don't want it to just smash his toes. I want it to smash him from the top of that cone head all the way down to his bottom of his feet. This fool got the nerve of talking like this. Also, he's coming after black family. How? See, because he can't get out there and make the argument that he's only defending illegal immigrants, those folks. So what does he do? Like all Democrats, draft in black folks. There it is. Use us as a shield. This big sellout. Man, he gets me sick. Ooh, I want a piece of Conehead so bad. The people in Chicago should drag him out of there. So now it's black families. Tell us how, Cone. Tell us how.
To destroy public education. Public education at the expense of the state, after all, is a Negro idea. Those are the words of W.B. Du Bois. So when he talks about Project 2025 and dismantling public education, we're talking...
Dismantling public education, Project 2025, throwing out all kind of stuff, bringing everything in that has nothing to do with illegal immigrants, okay? Lying about all of this stuff. Trump ain't trying to destroy public education. What are you talking about? First of all, your public education system sucks up there. Secondly, he's just saying kick it back out to the states. But like all Democrats, just like he's trying to ban a national ban on abortion. See? But they prey on ignorant people. This guy's using full-blown propaganda and lies to try to justify not allowing ICE to come in and take these illegal immigrants away. So now it's an attack on black families and public education somehow.
Talking about a system that has been designed to create leveling opportunities for families who are descendants of slaves. He's also threatening the Department of the Environment. We restore the Department of the Environment. With global population shift and climate change that's happening.
You see this sap sucker bringing in everything? He's like, you know what? I'm about to go through my database of woke, ideology, and I'm throwing at everything, firing everything. He's also going after, the environment. You know what I'm saying? How can black kids eat when, they got to worry about global warming and, what I'm saying? Shoot. I mean, he's going after all of that stuff. He's going after the animals, the ecosystem. I mean, black folks, how they going to go out there and play on the swings and stuff, the ecosystem. He's going after everything, man. You know what I'm saying? So now this guy is full-blown dragging in every liberal ideology talking point that he can. So now he's going after black families, he's going after education. Somehow slavery came up. And then environment, the global warming, the climate change. This guy is a buffoon. How did he get there? I'm praying and hoping that Illinois wakes up. And I mean, I can't imagine this guy winning again. I mean, I know his ratings got to be horrible. But this is the kind of garbage that they produce. And they train these black race baiter leaders in the Democrat Party to use this kind of garbage to go ahead and justify it. Now, Mayor Peanut is about to come up in a second and show him what not to do. But don't get it twisted. Mayor Peanut tried to use that too. He tried to use a little bit of identity politics too. But I think he sees the writing on the wall. So I'm sure he's watching Mayor Conehead right here with this press conference and going, okay, yeah, that's not what not to say. I don't think I need to be saying that.
All over the planet, we're going to stand up and protect our environment. We're going to stand up and we're going to protect undocumented individuals.
There it is. That's all he should have said. All the rest of that crap means nothing. He just needed to surround undocumented individuals with all of that other stuff. You see that? We got environmental justice. We got a little bit of trans justice. We got a little bit of this and that. We got some slavery. Got the black family. Oh, by the way, we got the illegal immigrants too. But then we got the So stick with the main course, man. You talking about all kind of stuff ain't got nothing to do with those illegal immigrants.
We're going to protect black folks, brown folks, Asian folks.
Illegal immigrants.
The anti-sentiment that exists in this political space right now is unconscionable and it's dangerous. Whether it's anti-black or anti-Semitic, we're going to...
Where is this coming from? Man, he's an identity politicsologist. That is unreal. Whether it's coming from black folks, white folks, indigenous people, and you know what I'm saying? Wow, how much of this garbage can you pack into one response? He's trying to bubble wrap himself with nothing but identity politics, tropes, accusations, narratives.
Protect people, and we're going to invest in people. The city of Chicago will be better, stronger, and safer, despite who's in the White House.
Okay. And you did touch on this earlier, but more directly, Tom Homan basically says sanctuaries need to get the heck out of the way so that ICE can do its job.
Excuse me, please get the heck out the way. Oh, let's hear it from the hammer himself.
I've seen some of these Democratic governors say they're going to stand in the way. They're going to make it hard for us. Well, a suggestion: if you're not going to help us, get the hell out of the way.
You hear Tom the Hammer Holman? He said, if y'all ain't going to help, get the heck out the way. Now, what are you going to do if ICE just comes in there and says, you know what, we might not be getting any type of help or assistance from the local police, but we're going to go ahead and come in and do it anyway? Is he going to tell the police to what? Resist these people? Deny ICE to be able to do it? I mean, what are they going to do? These sanctuary cities, if they say, okay, fine, y'all don't want to let the police cooperate, we've increased our ICE agents, and we're going to send them into your cities to go ahead and execute deporting these people. Are these folks willing to say, all right, all you police officers, take a stand, make a line right here, and tell ICE, if you come here, then we're authorized to use force against you? What is Conehead going to do? Is Conehead going to go out there in the streets, stand between ICE doing their job? That's what I want to know. Because they're all talking like Civil War. They all sitting there talking reckless, like, man, y'all ain't going to come in here. Shoot, man, we're going to protect our people. Unreal. But look, now you got to go ahead and say something else stupid.
I mean, what is your message back to the Trump administration with those kinds of threats, if you will?
Yeah, look, whether it's threatening, our undocumented families and new arrivals, or whether they're threatening Black and brown families who believe in public education like I.
There it is. Can this man ever answer a question without going straight into some racism? That black and brown families who believe in that, threatening them who believe in public education. Nobody's taking away public education, you dummy. This is unbelievable. Do you really think Trump is threatening just, and it's funny how he only makes it appear that only black kids go to public education. Only black kids. Yeah, Trump specifically talked about getting rid of the Department of Education and said, we're doing it just to target black kids. That's what we're doing. You see this fool? But the Democrats are going to keep getting their butts beat until they stop using these black gatekeepers and stuffing them in these positions and having them execute their crazy radical agenda and policies, and then saying, hey, y'all, I'm black too. I'm keeping y'all in check. Shut up. All right, support me. I'm the black guy. This allowing the Democrat policies to destroy your neighborhoods. Fool.
God do. We're not going to tolerate, and we certainly are not going to cower to someone's threat. This is Chicago. We produce the most innovative, the most talented people around the globe. There's a congressional leader, I believe, out of Arizona, who was born and raised in Chicago, right? And look,
that's what's in his mind right there. Yeah, he's sitting there, he's confused out there. Should we from Chicago, we don't take no mess. No mess. I don't care. What's his name again? How big is he? What is that? Y'all call him what again? The Home and the Hammer? I don't care nothing about no home. Shoot, we got this one dude. He came from Chicago. He out somewhere in Arizona. Look, man, for real though. I ain't scared or not. I'm kind of scared, but not all the way. I'm a little scared, but not really scared. So you know what I'm saying? That dude's trying to talk trash right now. But he's really careful about what he's saying.
The incoming administration is not just a threat to Chicago, but a threat to what is sensible about this country. And as mayor of the city of Chicago, we're not going to bend or break or cower to someone's threat. We're going to stand up and unite around our shared values. And they have my assurance that I'm going to protect the families of this city.
Protect the families of this city, not the citizens of the city. Just any family. Now, we're going to show you a drastic metamorphosis that have taken place. That right there is a fool. He's right now on a fool's errand. He's headed straight for the hammer. That's what he is. He's going to F around and find out. Whether it be from his own people saying, look, man, we might have not went red, but enough of us went red to show you that we don't like these folks in our city or our state, and they got to go. But Mayor Conehead, he's thinking, hey, man, y'all gonna have to come in here and take them because we ain't giving them up. We ain't giving them up. And so we're going to see what happens when he meets up with the hammer. But look at this. Look at Mayor Peanut.
In terms of the economy
/ coconut.
and the possibilities that the president might try to deport some migrants. I know we have sanctuary city issues here, but I'm wondering if you're concerned that if migrants leave because of their fears of what's going to happen, if this could adversely affect the city economy because there'll be a loss of people working and a loss of tax income. And are you worried?
Man, you hear this fool? I wonder if you're concerned that if these migrants leave this country, the city, because they fear of what's happening under the Trump administration. What do you mean? That's good. If they're self-deporting, we want them to leave the whole country because they fear of what's about to happen. And this dude, the fear, because of the tax dollars and stuff, and because of the work and stuff like that. Now, back in the day, when Mayor Peanut, / coconut now, was getting the business by the White House, he would have had to come up with something clever. Yes, New York has a brand. We definitely need these people. They are, because, he wouldn't want to get the Trump treatment. He didn't want that. He tried to go and deviate from the plan and call this mess out, but then he got the Trump treatment real quick. And then he kind of, he tried to course correct, but it was too late. It was too late. He couldn't get back. So that's when he fell victim. And now they're asking him, well, what about all of the tax dollars and stuff that we're going to lose from all of these illegal immigrants, I guess? What about all the tax dollars y'all lost by paying for all of the illegal immigrants? Housing them, feeding them, sending them all around the place. You see the stupidity of liberals and these stupid people in the press? They're more concerned about the tax revenue. How many of these illegal immigrants do you think are paying taxes? If I'm sitting there running some type of joint, you think I'm paying illegals straight under the table? And this fool talk about that. You're worried about the tax dollars. What if they leave and stuff on their own?
Well, our city's bottom line was affected, where 220,000 migrants and asylum seekers were placed in the city without any federal assistance that was substantial. We were impacted.
Oh my! That's why he's now coconut, no longer peanut. See, this man is working hard for his pardon. So hard for his pardon. It's so hard. So this man right there done got himself some revelations. Now he's gone too far. He's too far out there now. It's too far. He's like me. When I decided to impress the kids when I was a young boy, and I was working at an after-school program with some kids who all looked at me like I was a superhero. Mr. Kevin could do anything. He's the best. He's the strongest. He's the fastest. I was like, that's right, kids. That's right. We took them swimming during the summer. Oh, man. Up in a nice, rich area. And they had an Olympic-sized swimming pool. I didn't realize how long an Olympic-sized swimming pool was, y'all. All right, kiddies, I'm going to swim from one side to the other. Got my butt out there, and halfway out, I'm telling you, I felt like somebody threw a knife right into my ribs. I caught some of the biggest cramps, and I'm a hard swimmer. I mean, I swim like I'm boxing, man. I'm in there fighting the water. Head up out the water, none of this. Yeah, no techniques. Yeah, you would think I'm drowning the whole time I'm swimming. I'm like, no, I'm good. That's how hard I swim, y'all. People, is he drowning? No, he's fine. He swims like that all the time. So I'm out there swimming, and I get halfway out there, and I'm like, Kev, you ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it, man. And I look back, and I'm like, well, I'm too far out here at this point to go back. I ain't got no choice but to just keep going. That's what Mayor Peanut is right about now. And he's like, well, I'm too far. Do you know though? I made it with one arm. I was doing this, man. I was on my side. I got to the edge of the pool. I'm laying there on the side of the pool, and the kids come running over. Yay, Mr. Kevin, come on, get out the pool. Let's play. Wait a minute, kids. Mr. Kevin, need a minute. Man, I sat on the side of that pool like I had too much pride to call the lifeguard. Too much. I would have drowned before I would have did that in front of the kids, man. Oh, man, I was like, ain't no way I'm going to be like, somebody, I ran out of gas. Oh, but I made it though. So Yeah. Up here telling my own stories, laughing at him. All right, let me get back to Mayor Coconut. So Coconut's out there. He's in the deep, man. He's like, man, I got one shot. I got one path forward now. And that's to go ahead and side with Trump. And it'll make me a hero to my people. I might get a 2-for-1 deal. If I clean this mess up and yet get pardoned, this is a win-win. And ain't got to worry about no lawfare afterwards. So Mayor Coconut, he know what he's doing, man.
Billions of dollars.
Well, the return of Donald Trump to the White House is expected to have ramifications, not just around the country, but right here as in the city as well. Moments ago, Mayor Adams spoke out on the results of the election, and Morgan McKay joining us now live from City Hall. Morgan, what was his reaction, and was it surprising to you?
Bianca, Mayor Eric Adams started first by congratulating President-elect Donald Trump and incoming Vice President J.
What? The white man? Yeah, he called him up. We saw Mayor Coconut a couple weeks ago talk about, you know what? There's no need to be calling people things like, Nazis and white man. He was there. He wasn't on it. All of a sudden, he wasn't on it. And they was trying to get him to bash Trump for some reason, though he had nothing bad to say about Trump. Isn't that odd? And even the media start making the connection like, are you working for a pardon? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. So let's continue, though.
Vance. He says he hasn't spoken to Trump yet, but does plan to call him soon. He says that he respects the process and Americans made their voices heard last night. But he also answered questions about what this incoming administration means for migrants and vaccines. So first on migrants, the city's Immigrant Affairs Commissioner Manuel Castro says that talking about mass deportations only cause panic.
Oh, they should panic. So you got some folks in his administration talking about Y'all, we shouldn't be talking about that, man. People gonna get scared. You're not worried about all the New Yorkers that's scared? The influx and crime and prostitution and all that other stuff going on around your city? Ain't worried about them. Democrats never worried about their citizens. Always worried about everybody else. You're putting them at risk. You're demonizing them. Yeah, you know what? You're putting a target on their back. And you're separating their kids. And we have to fight for them. And then they wonder why they get their butts beat. So somebody got the nerve to come out. We shouldn't be talking about mass deportation. You might scare some folks. Let's hear what Mayor Coconut has to say about that.
City officials say that they are focused on protecting immigrants' communities. But when it comes to migrants that are currently in our city shelters, Adams does not say whether he would like to see migrants move to other states in a decompression strategy like he was pushing for under the Biden administration, or if he'd be looking to the federal government to cut cities like New York a check to help care for some of these migrants.
Uh-oh. Now, Mayor Coconut's starting to get a little vague on his position. I'm not sure yet. I'm still contemplating it. I did talk to Trump, though. I'll just let you know that. But decompression, what does that look like again? So it doesn't matter where they go? So could it be like they go like out of the country? Could that be considered decompression? Okay. So then that's a safe thing to say without coming out and saying that I'm for mass deportation. So we'll just call it decompression? Good. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm good with decompressing them down to Texas so they can get on a bus and get shipped right back to where they came from.
But again, city officials not commenting on any questions about deportations, telling people to not create panic over something that might not happen.
Oh, they know what's about to happen. He ain't sounding like Mayor Conehead talking, we're going to fight for these families. Now, that's a shame. They allow all of these people to come up here and look at those people sitting out there, man, in the cold. I mean, I feel bad for them, too. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm looking at these people and I'm saying, man, who wouldn't have taken the opportunity? When you see the leaders of the country telling you to come, when you see them providing everything for you to get here, I mean, that's one of the things where you get there and you kind of like, they told me to come. What? You sending me back? Why don't you blame this dude? They the ones told us to come. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, man. So let's finish going through it because Mayor Conehead's about to address it.
Adams did emphasize that he would like to see changes to the city's sanctuary city policies.
Oh, you hear him sliding them in? The subliminals? I'd like to see some changes to the city's sanctuary policies.
by allowing ICE to cooperate with law enforcement when it comes to migrants who have committed crimes. Here's Adams with more.
We need a decompression strategy at the border to make sure that we take control of this crisis and not have this crisis take control of us. There's great opportunities if we give people the right to work, and I remain calling for that.
No longer issue vouchers to migrants to pay for food, ending a controversial program that had repeatedly come under attack by conservatives and others.
That's the first step. Start cutting off them resources. Soon as Trump got in, somehow these two gave each other the wink and a, you know what to start doing. Yeah, working on that pardon. What? Don't everybody get panicked, okay? I'm just simply cutting off your food, okay? That's all. It's just your food right now. You know what's coming after that. But the food source is cut.
This pilot program in New York City, drenched in both humanity and controversy, distributed debit cards to migrant families staying in city-funded hotels and allowing them to buy their own food. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Heiniger following the breaking news for us. Josh?
Bill, it's a program that, as you say, generated plenty of controversy, but now its absence may raise even more questions. The so-called Immediate Response Cards pilot program was designed to help feed migrant families who'd found themselves in New York with no way to afford food. The one-year contract provided what the city described as culturally relevant food to 2,600 migrant families, allowing
culturally relevant food to 26 migrant families. Now, like I said, Democrats are, I mean, there's really no words to describe how evil the Democrat Party is. They knew this would be a nightmare. They knew that these people had potential. They let these people waste their money. They just gambled with these people's lives. Like, well, let's get them here and hopefully we win the next election and be able to keep them here. So they encourage these people to make this trip. I watched a clip today of half of the people in Mexico that was sitting there waiting to see the results of the election. Well, half of them started walking back and they were interviewing a couple of the people. And I actually felt a little bad. One guy was like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. You know, I fled, I think it was, I forget which country he came from, but his country is, you know, I think it was Guatemala. But he said he fled Guatemala because, you know, I mean, the type of leadership they got there. And he's like, and I don't know if I should just take a chance and keep going towards America or should I just stop and turn back? But I'm out here now. Me, my kid, my wife, all of them, they're just out there now. And these people who encourage this, let them come. You see these people getting off the bus? I mean, she's getting off the bus with a little girl in her arms. I mean, this right here in their head was like, yo, did y'all hear what the U.S. is doing? It's open door season. Let's go. Let's do it. And you know they spent all kind of money trying to get here, putting their lives at risk. And the Democrats didn't give a crap. And yet they'll go down there and talk about separation of kids. They go down there like AOC was, crying and getting a photo op. They don't care about the kids that are missing. They don't care about the kids that are trafficked. They don't care about the ones that don't make the journey. I mean, they don't care about the fact that these folks are here now, and then now we got to look like the bad guys by sending them all the way back with the kids. They're out of probably $6,000, if not more, might still be indebted to pay the cartel. You think the Democrats stopped for 1 second to think about these people? And then got the nerve to shame us talking about y'all shouldn't send them back. Think about all of the grandmas and stuff and gonna be sent back in the kids. Y'all knew that when y'all encouraged these people to come. But y'all put us in a position now to have to make a tough decision and look like the bad guy. But you know what? Say goodbye to the bad guy, okay? Because that's the last time you're gonna see a bad guy like me, that's for sure, okay? Take a good look at that bad guy. So let's go ahead and continue, because really, this is the Democrats' fault.
Allowing them to basically buy what they wanted. A family of four with two kids under 5 got about $350 per week to cover food in a program the city said would actually save taxpayers millions a year.
And that itself pisses me off too. Because not only were they putting these people in danger, bringing them here, setting them up for potential failure, giving them all of this money, that money could have been going to all of those homeless folks in New York. in other places. So you're depriving your own citizens as well, while you are setting these folks up. So now you're giving them $350 a week. I like $350 a week, especially as expensive as bacon is. Now, do you think if I smuggled myself into France and I'm like, I don't eat no French food, man? It's no problemo. We give you a card. You lock the card and you can go and buy whatever you want there. American food, hamburgers. You think they're going to treat me like that? They're going to be like, man, you got some nerve. You're not even supposed to be here. And you're whining about I don't like French food.
It also reduced food waste. You may remember the food the city had been providing in migrant shelters was seen as not culturally sensitive to the needs of some migrant groups, and it ended up just going to waste.
Now to the mayor of New York. Lots of news involving Mayor Adams today, and today he's joining us live on Eyewitness News.
Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We want to start.
Good to see you both.
Yes, great to see you too. We want to start with your decision late this afternoon to end that food voucher program for immigrants. What led to this decision and why now?
Well, it was an emergency contract for a sunsetting 1 year. That was what it was in place for 1 year. Now we have moved.
Now let me translate that. What made you in that? Why now? Well, it's because Trump got elected and he's no longer going to be funding our little project. I didn't like it in the first place, but I had to do it. As you can see, it cost me. Now I'm being brought up on charges. And I'm hoping that now that I got my common sense back, that I can get rid of these people, become a hero, and then also get pardoned by Trump. There you go. That's the translation.
Away from emergency response because we have had a constant decrease in our population, and now we're going to the procurement process that we do now for food. But we've been successful with that program. We brought down food waste. We were able to get several thousand individuals to have culturally sensitive food at the same time, and it was successful for the time being.
And now they got to starve. Now they got to starve. Because they still got to eat. That's the funny part about it. Still got to eat. But now how they going to eat? They ain't. See, and that's the key. You want some deportation? Well, look, there's food back in your country. You do know that, right? There's food back there. Now, we can send you back there, or I'm just saying. So now, here he is to cut off one part. They're starting to pull the rug out.
Now we move into the general putting out the RFPs that are needed. It was an emergency, and now we move in another direction.
Oh, yeah. Funding, of course, the big issue surrounding the city, and has been the big issue surrounding your tenure to some degree. Let's talk about some other crucial issues. You talked yesterday to President-elect Trump. What did you talk about? And did it involve any funding for New York City, or perhaps lack of funding?
Well, I've been very consistent about private conversations. I don't go into them, but I'm clear. I'm here to fight on behalf of this city. You can't hold your breath.
Look at the picture. Look at him cheesing, y'all. Notice what Peanut's doing, threading this needle. He's like, look, man, I ain't going to talk about what we talked about, but I'm here to fight on behalf of the city. Notice he didn't do what Conehead did. The people are undocumented, are new arrivals. He's now changing his tone. Earlier, when it wasn't an issue, when he was still Mayor Peanut, he was talking about Sanctuary City. New York is a melting pot. But now all of a sudden, I'm fighting for the New Yorkers now.
And wait 4 years before you start bringing back those resources to the city. We have a new president, and I'm going to collaborate with his administration to deal with some pressing issues that face in our city.
Starting off with my pardon.
Particularly around funding. When you look at the billions of dollars we spent with the migrants and asylum seekers, we got very little help from the federal government. And I think it's imperative that we engage on the right foot to say, New York needs infrastructure, affordability, and other big ticket items.
Wait a minute. We don't need no legal immigrants. You telling me y'all don't need that? You telling me more diversity don't make y'all stronger, even though y'all are a melting pot? You're telling me y'all don't need that? See, so now he's starting to sound like a common sense person. You see what some charges would do? It'll wake you up. Charges will bring back your common sense.
Well, Mayor, speaking of the new president, do you think the Trump presidency will have an impact on your federal case? Are you hoping the charges will be dropped? We do know that he said that you were being unfairly targeted because of your criticism of the Biden administration's immigration policy. What are your thoughts on that? And have you spoken to Trump about this?
No, I did not. And I've been extremely clear that I've done nothing wrong, and I have competent attorneys that are going to handle that case. My job is to do what I was elected to do, and that's fight on behalf of New Yorkers. And anyone who conflate the two just really don't know who I've been for the last 30 plus years as a public servant from police officer to an elected official.
Great response, Coca. Great response. Coca right now is like, look, I ain't gonna say I don't need Trump. I ain't gonna take that white nationalist help. He just said, I ain't even talk to him about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just focused on the New Yorkers. But you know what I'm saying? Coconut knows what he's doing. Yeah, he's keeping it very vague. Oh, he know he talked to Trump about that mess. Hey, you gonna get rid of this mess, ain't you? I'm like you. See, I now see what you're talking about. I ain't see it at first, man. But you know what I'm saying? I'm down with you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they were talking about black folks, though. You know, he's trying to say black people can identify with him. He's a white man. I can identify with you now, brother. I'm down with you, Trump, baby. Now, what you want to do? Or I can start by cutting off the food first? Okay, cool. So I'm going to start with that. I'll go out tomorrow and do a press conference.
I'm going to fight and defend this city. This city deserves that, and that is what I'm going to continue to do.
The city? Unlike Mayor Conehead, who was out there talking about he going to fight and defend undocumented citizens.
Okay. And just quickly, Mayor, are you hoping that he drops the charges?
My attorney, anything that's dealing with my case, I have an excellent attorney that can handle those questions. I have to answer the questions of how to move the city forward, and I'm not going to do anything to get in the way of that.
Yeah, like me saying something stupid. You ain't going to get me to get in there and say something stupid.
I want to talk to you a little bit more about financial assistance. You were quite critical of the lack of financial assistance President Biden.
And that's what got him in trouble.
The flood of migrants coming into New York. It's hard to imagine Donald Trump's going to, in all honesty, Mayor, going to boost any funding to pay for that. And in fact, he may order them out of the country, as we well know. People who live here and work here, and their children are going to school here in the public schools. Mr. Mayor, let's talk about that cost of all that and what your hopes are for Mr. Trump.
Well, first we need to deal with reality. Over 220,000 migrants and asylum seekers came to the city, and we spent billions of taxpayers' dollars to take care of this issue, as well as other cities, Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles. When you look at those tax dollars not going to the residents of those cities to deal with the crucial issues we had to face coming out of COVID, I found that troubling, and I was clearly vociferous about it.
And that's what got you in trouble. That's what got you out in the middle of the Olympic-sized swimming pool, saying I got one direction ahead, and it's Trump at the end. Mayor Coconut done seen the light. Have seen the light. And the light looks like a pardon by Trump. So here he is like, oh, yeah, you know what? Unlike Mayor Conehead over there who's talking about something, you know what, we're going to do everything we can to support our citizens. It's not really citizens and stuff. Conehead like, man, this is what got us in the problem in the first place. As soon as I said something, oh, I'm sorry, I ain't supposed to bring that up again. But that's what happened. Now, he's starting to change his tone. Look at the difference between Coca and Cone. It's interesting. It's fascinating, man.
But this is a sanctuary city. I think that the modification that was last made under the previous administration was the wrong modification.
Oh, he's like, yeah, this is a sanctuary city, but now it was wrong. That was wrong. It was wrong.
When it was put in place under Koch and under Bloomberg, it had a different concept. I don't believe people who come to the city and create violent crimes should not remain in the city, and we should have the right, after they serve their time, to turn them over to ICE.
Man, he working hard for that pardon. So hard. Trump, what else you want me? Oh, I gotta wait. Give me a second. I got another press conference I gotta do real quick to destroy some of this press and stuff and tell them basically, man, shut up talking to me about this sanctuary city, man. I'm done with that. Got me in trouble.
Two questions. First, you've predicted that mass deportations won't happen in New York City.
You said, I'm sorry.
You predicted that mass deportations won't happen in New York City.
I predicted that?
Yes, you've said that they won't happen.
Okay, I don't know about predicted, but go ahead.
Look, you predicted that mass deportations weren't going to happen in the city. Notice what he said. I predicted that? I don't know about predicted, but anyway, but go ahead. He already letting them know that I am not here to protect these illegal immigrants. You're not going to go ahead and bully me back into this. Right now, I got one path forward. That is Trump.
Well, do you think that they will happen here?
We're going to do everything possible to make sure that people are treated in a dignity and humane way that we've done for these last few years.
Translation, get them out of here in a nice and orderly way. There you go. He didn't say no. See, Mayor Coconut, I got them all confused now. Mayor Conehead over there was talking about, oh, we're going to fight. We're going to take a stand. We ain't letting them come in here and disrupt. This man's like, look, man, we're going to make sure we treat them in a humane way. But that's all I can pretty much give you. We're going to be like, hey, look, man, you want to get on the bus on your own accord, or do you want the hammer to grab you and shove you on the bus? Now, we can do this humanely or we can do it inhumanely. Okay, one or the other, you're getting on the bus. So Coconut is very careful with these words now.
Okay, so then my question is, how can migrant New Yorkers be sure that they won't happen here, given that ICE can make arrests in New York City without police cooperation? And then the second question is...
Now, do you hear this, fool? How can the migrants know for sure it won't happen here, since ICE ain't allowed to make arrests here without the cooperation of the...
why should New Yorkers, including migrant New Yorkers, trust that you will advocate for them with the new Trump administration, given that you have a personal stake in winning the president's favor?
Now, do you hear this activist pretending to be a journalist? How can New Yorkers feel confident you're going to fight for them? What are you talking about? You're talking about New Yorkers, and you're just assuming all these New Yorkers are okay with all these non-New Yorkers. So now he has to go ahead and do something that I was like, Mayor Coconut, that's why you're now Mayor Coconut.
Okay, a couple of things. Do you think every New Yorker believes there should not or should be mass deportation? Do you believe every New Yorker believes that?
No, but you have said you don't think there should be.
Yeah, but you said, how can I advocate for New Yorkers? So I should only advocate for one type of New Yorker or all New Yorkers?
Well, that's tough. I don't think you can advocate for all New Yorkers.
Oh, really? Okay, so which New Yorker I shouldn't advocate for? The ones that agree with you or disagree with you?
Well, if you believe there should be no mass deportation...
Get her, Coca! Get her, Coca! Coca done came up, working, huh? He's fighting for that pardon, man. He's like, bang, pow, zowie, ding. Oh, he is scrapping for that pardon. He's like, which one should I be advocating for, huh? Huh? Yeah, huh? The ones that want them gone or the ones that don't? You tell me. Now Coca is getting it, man. Go ahead, Coca.
How can people believe that you will advocate for that with the incoming Trump administration?
Yeah, but you set up a question. This is very interesting, the question you set up. So there's certain New Yorkers I shouldn't advocate for?
I'm not sure that was my question. My question was, why should New Yorkers trust that you will advocate for them with the administration?
Let's go back again. There's some New Yorkers, there are people who stop me on the street and says, I voted for the president and I believe there should be mass deportation. There are people stop me on the street and say, I believe there shouldn't be mass deportation. So what one needs to do is have the ability to sit people in the room and come up with real solutions. That's what I've been doing for 3 years. And so for you to state I'm trying to covet someone's favor, when this is what I've been talking about since the beginning of my administration.
And this is what got me some charges brought up on me.
We've been in this problem, and even prior to that, I've been an advocate to deal with immigration issues. So this is not about trying to get anyone favor. This is about making sure we treat this city and the residents of the city in the humane way, and that I listen to both sides. That's the difference between being a mayor and someone who could just give opinions. I got to listen to all New Yorkers.
And I got to listen to President Trump, because he's responsible for getting me out of this mess that Joe Biden got me in.
Not just the one I agree with or disagree with.
Well. Look at that. So Mayor Coconut then went through some slight metamorphosis, and some charges, like I said, would do that for you. Now, let's hope that he stays the course. But he has only one path forward. That's the way I look at it. He has one path forward, and you can see how he's changing it. But see, Conehead and the rest of those mayors and the rest of those governors, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. And now they're going to end up getting the hammer. But not only are they going to get the hammer, but President Trump did something so drastic, so radical. He shocked the system to Democrats and Republicans. He announced that Matt Gaetz would be the Attorney General. Now, you have to understand, guys, this is definitely a shock to the system. And for some folks who maybe don't know Matt Gaetz' work and maybe don't know why Matt Gaetz would make a great Attorney General, we need to show you. We need to show you why everybody hates Gaetz. Yeah, man.
All right, we've got another Trump appointment, and this is one that is probably going to surprise a lot of people because he was not on any of the lists that were floating around out there. And there had been some discussion that President-elect Trump was having a little trouble making this final decision, or maybe this is the person he had in mind all along. But he has now nominated Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz as Attorney General, but no decision.
Now, you know that pissed a lot of people off. Democrats and Republicans. See, they needed a Bill Barr maybe back in there or something like that. You know, Jeff, whatever his name was, the real weak guy. Maybe they need somebody like that. Somebody who's not going to really do what I'm about to show y'all. Because this is why everybody hates Gaetz.
Has outraged Washington as much as Trump's move to appoint Matt Gaetz as Attorney General.
Katie, I've gotten two different texts from different people at the Justice Department who just used the word insane to respond and react to this potential appointment.
Heads are also exploding at the Justice Department because this goes against the kind of candidate, Republican or Democrat.
Oh, well, look at that. Heads are exploding at the department because this goes against the kind of the candidate that Republicans and Democrats. Well, who are you speaking for? Are we here to appease the folks that we voted in to implement the will of the people? Or they're supposed to implement the will of the people? It doesn't matter what these Republicans think about that. And he's not the type of that person that we want. He might get in there and actually start. We don't care about that. We voted for Trump, and Trump's decisions and his agenda needs to be executed and carried out. But she's talking about what the Republicans and Democrats think. That's the problem. The people vote these folks in. They go up there and then they say, now that we're here, we're going to do things our way. Thanks for giving us the power, but we're not going to worry about what y'all want. Just like the raggedy behind Senate put that rhino in instead of the MAGA first candidate that we all wanted. But now Trump said, now I'm going to really shake it up. Y'all want me to shake it? I'm shake it. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. So he done threw Matt to the Gaetz in. He couldn't have got more radical with this dude. You know it. Woo-wee. He's like the Tasmanian.
That the DOJ sees as an appropriate candidate.
And this is making everyone's head explode right now. We're all watching it unfold in real time, and I'm sure
I want to see them all pop.
I see this, Joy, as calculated by Donald Trump to send a message to the good people at the Department of Justice.
No, not the good people. You see that? Not the good people. The ones who already know, shoot, man, you know how much stuff we've been involved in? Oh, man, we ain't going to be able to do this. We ain't going to be able to get away with stuff no more. You know this cat going to come in and clean. We synced all the clips of him. We synced all the clips. Oh, shoot. He ain't talking about the good people. This guy right here is trying to pretend Matt's is going to come in and start punishing the good people. No. If you ain't got nothing to worry about, then why are you talking? So here he is.
Strong, the men and women, and I was proud to be one of them for decades, doing the people's work. You know, attorneys and support staff who care about honesty, integrity, ethics, the rule of law, and
yeah, because Matt Gaetz don't, right? Yeah. Or could it be that they know he does? Could it be that they know he was calling out all of the corruption from the DOJ, FBI, CIA, all of these people the whole time Trump was in office? Could it be that he was the only person who said, we should stop this lawfare, and here's a plan of how we can do it? And none of the House members supported it. They could have shut down all of these stupid attacks and cases against Trump, defunded all of that mess, and protected Trump. Matt Gaetz took the time to figure that out, presented it to him, And what did they do? Oh, that's nice. Let's keep it in the corner somewhere. Maybe who knows? It's a good idea though. Nice work. Nice work. So let's continue.
Allegiance to the Constitution. This is Donald Trump sending a message to them.
To y'all.
That y'all might as well just get out now while the getting's good.
But he's trying to say that that's just for the nice and good people of the DOJ. No, it's to the rot. That, hey, it's time for y'all to get out of here, okay? I want y'all to be shocked. I want this to shock the system. I want you to be sitting there, relax, sleep, and feel some ice water thrown on you. That's what I want you to feel. Wake you straight up, shock the system. Oh, man, you play too much. With Matt Gaetz, that's what it is, shocking the system.
Because look at who your boss may soon be, Matt Gaetz. And what self-respecting federal prosecutor would want to work under a guy like Matt Gaetz?
You mean what corrupt, crooked one would want to work under a guy like? They would all leave? Good. See, that's how you get rid of the rot. Yeah, nobody wants to work under somebody who has integrity. Folks under you will only do what the leadership allows you to do. So when I hear Mayor Garlick go up there on the Capitol and pretend he don't know what was going on with his FBI that was spying on folks, and listen, I'm not familiar with that. I heard the reports that they and that. So you don't know what's going on under you? You're letting the DOJ just run amok? You're letting the FBI just have their way, and all of the top leadership is okay with it? Your people are rogue. They're out there doing all kind of crazy stuff, and when y'all get busted, you act like you ain't even heard nothing about it. Any accountability for those people who was looking at and taking down addresses and licenses and stuff of those Christians? Nothing. That's an internal matter. Internal matter. They're only comfortable doing that stuff because the leadership is rotten. Do you think if Matt Gaetz was the DOJ director or the FBI director, they would have felt okay with going heavy-handed on raiding Mar-a-Lago just on their own? Just on their own. You think that they would have been okay with putting together a plot to kidnap wretched witch Moore? A trap? You think that if they would have just did all of that stuff and don't worry, you know what, Matt's okay with it. I'm sure if he finds out, he'll be okay with it. They're only doing this stuff because the leadership now is rotten. So now here he is talking about they wouldn't want to work under those conditions. You're right, if you're rotten.
President-elect Trump intends to nominate Matt Gaetz to run the Department of Justice. What was your immediate reaction?
Music to my ears.
Well, it must be the worst nomination for a cabinet position in American history. I think this is something that falls well outside the scope of deference that should be given to a president in nominating members of his senior team. Gaetz is not only totally incompetent for this job, he doesn't have the character. He is a person of moral turpitude. And notwithstanding how difficult it may be politically, this is a nomination the Republican Party should oppose.
Dead in the water. That's what they want. They want it to be dead in the water. Now, we're not listening to that rhino right there, that neocon, that war hawk right there. We're not going to listen to him. This is why they all hate Gaetz. This is why they hate him, y'all.
Seems like every time I turn around, they're engaged in surveillance or list building or monitoring, and I don't care if it takes every second of our time and every ounce of our energy. We either get this government back on our side or we defund and get rid of, abolish the FBI, CDC, ATF, DOJ, every last one of them if they do not come to heel.
Word. That's why they don't like Matt to the Gaetz. Oh boy. But now notice when we discovered that little hit list they was putting out for conservatives, the top leadership, they all disagreed, but there was no repercussions. Remember, here you are, Mayor Garlick. I was unaware of that document. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. We will look into it. And Christopher Wray, all of them, the hit list, you know what, you might even watch out for these extremists. Here's a go ahead and let. But yet nothing happened to these people. These rogue folks under y'all, I guess just decided, you know what? You know, it would be a great idea. How about we start building a list to categorize and lump in conservatives only into the category as extremists, potential violent, potential the domestic terrorists, Yeah, you think that was okay and didn't get okayed by, Mayor Garlick and Christopher Wray? And then they play dumb when they get into office? So now I can see why they would hate Matt Gaetz.
Speaking of government bureaucrats, I have heard enough of that sniveling little twit, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
What? The face of science? How can you say that about me? I'm the face of science. How can you say that about Jimmy the Cricket? Yeah, I bet you they don't want no parts of Matt Gaetz because he might just start looking into all that money and stuff they was spending and Wuhan and paying. He might start looking into that. And nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants a real deputy dog in there. They don't want a real. They want a hound dog that can't catch a rabbit, and he ain't no friend of mine. But wait a minute, this is really why they hate Matt Gaetz.
The American people need to understand what just happened. My Democrat colleague just asked the director of the FBI whether or not they are buying information about our fellow Americans.
Okay.
And the answer is, well, we'll just have to get back to you on that. It sounds really complicated, but I have other questions. I'm sitting here with my father. I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father. Sounds like a shakedown, doesn't it, Director?
He's a great prosecutor. I mean, he's setting these folks up who think they're coming in there like, all right, I know it's going to be a tough day. I know the Republicans are going to be asking questions about our corruption and the obvious stuff that we're overlooking and pretending that we're not seeing. See? And what pisses the American people off is we watched this take place for 4 years and we're going, we can see that a mile away. Why is it that I can see that was a shakedown? Now we got Christopher Wray up here and he's about to embarrass Christopher Wray.
I'm not going to get into comments.
I bet you're not.
You seem deeply uncurious about it, don't you? Almost suspiciously uncurious. Are you protecting the Bidens?
Absolutely not. The FBI
Well, you
does
won't
not
answer the
has
question.
no
Hold on.
interest in
You won't answer the
protecting
question
anyone
about whether
He's getting rattled. He's under the skin. That's why they hate Gaetz. He don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. He's like, I'm going to get in your grill. I'm sniffing out all kind of corruption. I'm not going to let you sit there and play dumb. I'm going to highlight the fact that you're willfully ignorant and you're pretending like, I'm not going to comment about that, really. No, I'm going to make you go ahead and reveal to yourself. He gets up under these people's skin so bad that they lose their cool.
That's a shakedown, and everybody knows why you won't answer it. Because to the millions of people who will see this, they know it is. And your inability to acknowledge that is deeply revealing about you.
Deeply revealing about you. See, this is why they hate Gaetz. Because if I'm sitting here reading that, and I'm saying I'm supposed to be the dang on director of the FBI, meaning if that was Al Capone, if that was Michael Corleone, Al Pacino playing Scarface, man, and I read that, I would go, we got him. This right here is a shakedown. We got it. But now you're not intelligent enough to know that that conversation was a shakedown. Now you're playing ignorant. And we all know it. And Matt Gaetz exposed it. That's why they hate Gaetz. Let's continue. Show me another reason why they hate Gaetz.
Attorney General, you've told us that it's a dangerous conspiracy theory to allege that the Department of Justice is communicating with these state and local prosecutions against Trump. You can clear it all up for us right now. Will the Department of Justice provide to the committee all documents, all correspondence between the department and Alvin Bragg's office and Fonnie Willis' office and Letitia James's office?
Now, do you see this? You see Nicodemus right there? You see that rat right there, Ratatouille? That quivering voice. Now, Matt is beautiful, setting these folks up. He gets them all rattled. Yeah, this guy's a lawyer himself. He's sitting back going, how am I going to answer these questions? See, now he comes in doing what the dirty, nasty DOJ and the left does by saying it's dangerous to even talk about these conspiracies. It's dangerous to question the integrity of the DOJ and the FBI. These are dangerous things, so you got to shut up and let us keep abusing the system. You got to shut up and let us practice our lawfare. And when you don't, we'll just label you as a conspiracy theorist and it's dangerous. So now he's going to say, now prove it. Yeah, I'm going to make sure we show you why we feel this way. And watch what he does with this dirtbag.
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get that. I get that. The question is whether or not you will provide all of your documents and correspondence. That's the question. I don't need a history lesson.
Well, I'm going to say again, we do not control those offices. They make their own
decisions. The question is whether you communicate with them, not whether you control them. Do you communicate with them, and will you provide those communications?
Make a request. We'll refer it to our Office of Legislation.
Can't say it. Can't come out and say, no, we don't communicate with them. See, these are the things. This is why they hate Gaetz. Yeah, you can't come out and say absolutely not. This is why these institutions need people like Gaetz, or they need to be gone, one or the other. Because when I hear folks in the FBI where they can't tell you if they were involved in coordinating J6, can't tell you if they had people in there, can't give you sources and methods, won't say yes or no. All of these things, this should be a no. But yet this guy right here won't say no. And then what does Matt Gaetz do? This is why they hate Gaetz.
But see, here's the thing. You come in here and you lodge this attack that it's a conspiracy theory that there is coordinated lawfare against Trump. And then when we say, fine, just give us the documents, give us the correspondence, and then if it's a conspiracy theory, that will be evident. But when you say, well, we'll take your request, and then we'll sort of work it through the DOJ's accommodation process, then you're actually advancing the very dangerous conspiracy theory that you're concerned about. Now,
bam! Right in the kisser. Right in the kisser. Merrick Garland came in there with his defense already. All right, to anybody in here questions what we're doing and our integrity thing, you're advancing a conspiracy theory. Then show us you can solve it right now, you can clear it all up. See, this is why he would make a great, attorney general. Because he's just straight up like, yeah, man, be transparent. You clear it up. Show us all of that. And we go, oh, my bad. It's a conspiracy. Our fault. We were wrong on that one. But because you can't do that, makes everybody go, well, maybe there's some merit to our conspiracy theory that usually turns out to be true. See, this is why they hate Gaetz.
You were a judge, once nominated the highest court in our country. When you were a judge, I'm just curious, did you ever make political donations to partisan candidates?
No.
No, and you didn't because that would create the potential appearance of impropriety.
I didn't because there's a federal rule.
Oh. Ooh. Now you can see Garlic is already flustered. That's why they hate Gaetz. He's flustered. No, I didn't because there's already a... Now he's thinking, where's Gaetz going with this? Where's Matt going with this? I just got embarrassed a second ago, but now he's coming back for some more.
Barring federal judges for making contributions.
Right, but under that same theory of attacks on the judicial process, like shouldn't someone be owed like a jury of their peers and a judge that's non-biased rather than getting a judge from your political opponent's donor file?
Bam! He watched that lawfare happen all along. And he was one of the biggest advocates for Trump. And he was really good at exposing and bringing to light, making it so clear how corrupt these folks are in their conspiracy to go after him. He's like, he's pretending that he's asking questions. I mean, wouldn't it? And everybody's listening to it. Merrick Garland knows what he's saying. Everybody with common sense is going, yeah, that's exactly how it should be. And you're sitting here now, for whatever reason, either trying to play ignorant or you know what's happening and you're okay with it. You could shut all this down, but you're not because y'all coordinated this mess.
I'm well aware that you're not asking a hypothetical. You're asking me to comment on a jury verdict in another jurisdiction, which has to be respected. I won't comment on it. That case is still ongoing.
There it is. So you know that, right? You know all of his analogies, all of his hypotheticals. Yeah, somehow you are able to make that connection. How is it that you can see these analogies, hypotheticals are applicable to the case? How are you able to see that? See, if it wasn't applicable, you'd go, I have no idea what you're talking about. How does that even apply to the case? But you know that what he's suggesting and talking about is absolutely applicable to the case, the fraudulent case that was brought. So now I know what you're trying to do. But obviously, no, you don't, because you're walking right into the trap by acknowledging it.
Mr. Attorney General, I hadn't asked you about the verdict yet. We were getting there. I was talking about the judge. I was wondering, Mr. Attorney General, has anyone at the department told President Biden to knock it off with Hunter? I mean, you guys are charging Hunter Biden on some crimes, investigating him on others. You got the president bringing Hunter Biden around to state dinners. Has anyone told him to knock it off?
Our job in the Justice Department is to pursue our cases without reference to what's happening in the outside world.
Just yes or no. Have you done that?
That is what we do.
So it's a no?
No one that I know of has spoken to the White House about the Hunter Biden case.
I'm wondering.
Now you see that weak man? With that weak voice, no one that I have spoken to that has spoken to the White House about. And that voice gets quiverier and quiverier as Matt Gaetz digging him. No one had.
Okay, I got it. So Hunter Biden is selling art to pay for his $15,000 a month rent in Malibu. How can you guarantee that the people buying that art aren't doing so to gain favor with the president?
The job of the Justice Department is to investigate criminal allegations. You have information.
Are you investigating this? I mean, someone who bought Hunter Biden's art ended up with a prestigious appointment to a federal position. Doesn't it look weird that he's become this immediate success in the art world as his dad is president of the United States? Isn't that odd?
I'm not going to comment about any
Not going to comment, not going to investigate. So Hunter Biden associate Devin Archer told us that Hunter sold the appearance of access to then Vice President Biden. Are you confident he has stopped doing that?
I'm going to say again that all these matters are within the purview of Mr. Weiss. I have not interfered with them, and I do
If you
not.
were confident that he had stopped, you could.
And I do not
probably
intend
tell
to
us.
interfere with
Yeah,
him.
I want to. So it was.
I love it. See, and he exposes that. He's bringing up things that we're saying, okay, you're being willfully. You're trying to fall back on, I don't get involved in these things and this and that I went ahead and outsourced it, and then I can pretend that I ain't got nothing to do with it. I handed it off to this one, whomever, who already know he ain't gonna really stick it to these people. And then I'm gonna play like, one, I don't know what's going on over there. I don't interfere, just to show the appearance of, non-interference. Not to mention, I also can't make a comment about it because there's an ongoing investigation. So Matt brings it down to a level of common sense where, like, if you're supposed to be on top of corruption, don't you find it to be a little odd? See, he's doing the things that I do when I'm on my show, just simply bringing up questions to where people say, yeah, I'm going to sound real stupid if I say, no, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see how that could be. How are you in that position? How are you in that job if you can't see that connection? You're supposed to be, the deputy dog. How did you get there where you can't say, wait a minute, hold on. The Hunter Biden is untalented. Somehow these people are buying all of this and then they get a position? Huh? That sounds like some type of play to pay, corruption. But he's going, it's not in my purview. I don't know anything. I can't understand. So Matt's going to go ahead and leave him with this wonderful, wonderful black eye.
Chinese money that was working its way through these shell companies into the accounts of the Biden family. And so let me ask you this question about your time as a judge. Was there ever a time when you were a judge when you had a family member who was personally profiting off of the notoriety of a case that was before your court?
I'm going to say again, very clear, you're asking me to comment on a case in another jurisdiction.
No, wait, hold on, Mr. Attorney General. Did you ever have a family member profit off of the notoriety of any case that you settled?
Say again, you're asking
yes or no?
You're asking me to comment on a case currently.
Well, it seems you're connecting the dots, Mr. Attorney General. I'm just asking you as to a general principle, but you are aware that Judge Merchan's daughter was profiting off of this prosecution. You are aware that that creates the appearance of impropriety. You know the very reason there's a federal rule against judges giving donations is because it is the very attack on the judicial process that we're concerned about.
Oh! Oh, beautiful. And that is why they hate Gaetz. He didn't sit back and let that fool dismiss it, dodge it. He walked right into it. He exposed the fact that just because you're able to rationally, logically make this connection to the real life application of what's going on with Trump, that lets me know you can see it clearly, that it is a violation. You're able to see it, or you would not, you would have been like, yo, man, that has nothing, that is not the same scenario. I can't even apply that to that. But he walked into it by making a confession. And that's what makes Matt Gaetz great, is because he basically made him confess that what that judge was doing was corrupt by acknowledging that I'm able to recognize the application that you're laying out, that scenario, is equivalent to what is currently taking place. That was one of the greatest ways to expose Mayor Garlick ever. And Mayor Garlick, as clever as he thinks he is, walked right into it. I couldn't have done that better myself. Therefore, that guy right there would make a great, district attorney. That guy's great. I loved it. But that's why they hate Matt Gaetz. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for kicking it with me tonight. I'll be back tomorrow, y'all. Same time, same place. I ain't even put my theme music at the end for some reason. I don't know what happened. I think I just got caught up in that punch right there. Yeah, he's going to shake up the joint, and I know they're going to do everything they can to resist him. But I think it's going, we're going to see. We're going to see how the Trump, I know the Trump administration knew that as soon as they put Matt Gaetz' name out there, everybody's going to have a fit. So they must have a contingency plan to deal with the pushback and the outrage, and we'll see. But I'm excited because of the team that's coming together, y'all, and it's looking good, man. It's showing some hope. Let me see some. Why did I put my? Oh man, I ain't put my music in the back. Now I gotta put it there just because. Gotta drop it in, and now y'all get to see how the sausages is made and everything. So anyway, don't forget, hit the like button on the way out. Share my videos. Follow me on all the other platforms that I use. I'm gonna start doing some things on Rumble. I'm still hoping that I crack 1,000 over here on my alternative channel. I want to start doing some live streams over there. And finally, check out Kevin's Corner Store. The number on the screen, 330-974-4607. Text MAGA to that, just in case I get X'd on this platform. And then if you want to support the channel, you can do that through my Cash App and my PayPal. Other than that, let's get out of here, y'all. That was beautiful. Knockout. Mayor Garlick's thinking. This is our city. Our coats up north got our hands round y'all throats. I know you see the way we tear up this place. Peace.